So much nicer. No, that's the way we have to negotiate for our country. Think of it. That's the way we have to. That's the way my son negotiates. That's the way Jared negotiates. Come here. Come here. Eric, come here. Jared, come here. That's the way we have to negotiate for our country. The lights go off. Now listen. Come here. Ready? Now listen, there's just the thing. The lights go off, it's better. We say we want the lights on, it's terrible. We take a big deduction off the rent because the lights are, but it's actually better. It's the kind of sick thinking we really need for our country. Isn't that right? So because the lights didn't work, even though it's better, we say we're not paying the rent. The lights didn't work. This is ridiculous. We will not pay the rent. And we say bye-bye. This is Eric, my son, and my son-in-law, Jared. Here, come on, say something.
Wow. Well, guys, we are so proud of him. He is the greatest father in the world. And honestly, when we were standing there last night, we couldn't have been more proud as a family. Honestly, he did such an awesome job. We are going to make America great again. We are going to win this thing. Thank you.
Two great guys. They work hard. They love, boom, they love. Get those lights off. They're taunting us. They're taunting us. All right. I love you too. Look at that guy. I love you. Beautiful. So thanks, fellas. Thanks. I'll see you in a minute. See, they don't want to get off the stage. You see that? That's what happened. So we have, thank you. So when I did this, when I originally decided, it was June 16th, and it was at Trump Tower in Manhattan, and I got so sick and tired of looking at these stupid, incompetent, ridiculous deals that we're doing. We can't beat ISIS with the military. We can't negotiate trade deals. The Iran deal was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life, and it went on for years and years and years. $150 billion we give to a terrorist state. The other day, I don't know if you saw, they were talking to Secretary Kerry, and they were saying, but he may be running, you know. I would love to run against him. Anybody, I'll tell you what, I'd love to run against him. Anybody that made that deal, it's so bad, there's no way he could become president. Do you agree with that? There's no way. But I look, and they were talking about the deal of where the money's being spent, and somebody said about terror. Oh, well, yes, we would expect that. We haven't found that yet, but we would. Can you believe there's a guy, we give him $150 billion, and he expects some of the money to go to terror. I don't know if you saw that. It was disgusting. So that deal could have been so much better. Nothing wrong with deals. I love deals. They have to be great deals. They have to be great deals. That deal could have been so much better. It could have been so good. First of all, the hostages should have been released before we started negotiating, period. Period. Which, by the way, is years ago. You know, you ever see a deal take so long? And you walk in, and you know this, you've heard it, but it's like basic. You walk in, and you see these guys, great negotiators, Persians. Persians are very good negotiators. But we have the greatest negotiators in the world in our country. We have the best. We have guys that are so good. We have guys and women that are so good. And we don't use them. We use political hacks. We use people that got their job because they take care of the senators, some of whom I'm on the stage with. We don't negotiate anything. The country is going to hell. We don't negotiate drug prices. We don't negotiate anything. We have people that don't know the first thing about what they're doing. They don't know about trade. They don't know about economics. Every single, you know, Carl Icahn endorsed me recently. He's one of the great businessmen. Carl and others, these are the best people. And me. So many deals are so easy. The Iran deal, you ready? You walk in, you say, fellas, you got to do us a favor. Release our prisoners. This is 4 years ago when it's release our prisoners. They're going to say no. And we say, bye-bye, bye. And then you go outside, you call up, you double up the sanctions, you triple up the sanctions. Within 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, They will call you and they'll say, the prisoners are gone. They're gone. Amazing, a miracle. Then, and I tell this story, and one of the media folks like this story, so I'll tell it the way I like to tell it. But my father taught me a lot. I had a father who really taught me a lot. And he thought I was a little bit rough around the edges. He thought, we got to calm him down, right? He was a good teacher. And I think Eric is listening to this one because I have to teach him too. He's pretty tough, but he's good. But, you know, my father said, son, take the lumps out. Take the lumps out. I remember him going like this, lumps, take the lumps out. So I said, be easy, a little bit easier, you get the same thing. So I took the lumps out. So I would have gone in and I would have said to him the following. We owe $19 trillion in debt. 19 trillion. Does anybody even know what a trillion means, right? Very few people do, by the way. If we sat you, all you know what it means? You know what it means? It means a lot. That's what it means. It means a lot. We owe 19 trillion. The Republicans, I'm a Republican, just approved one of the worst PACs. You know, they call it the omnibus bill, the budget. Did you see that deal? Under that deal, Obama gets everything he wants. He gets the right to move terrorists in. He gets the right and money for the Syrians to come in off the line, and we have no idea who they are. They could be ISIS. He gets illegal immigrants into the country. He funds everything he wants to fund. And they approved it so fast, right? They approved it. So we get the prisoners. They'll say, you've got your prisoners. Now you go in. And instead of saying, here's the way I would have said it if I didn't have my father, because he taught me a lot. He was, what I really learned, he taught me a lot. I would have said, if I didn't have him, because I think we have a lot of natural talent, right? I would have said, we're not paying you the $150 billion. We'll never pay you. You don't have a chance of getting it. That's tough. See, that's no good, though. It's too tough. You're too challenging. Who needs it? So now, because I've become over the years, you know, very experienced and smart, now I say very simply, fellas, we got a problem. Our country is going to hell. We've had incompetent leadership, grossly incompetent. Like, how about the worst? We owe $19 trillion. We're going to owe another $2 trillion soon because of this horrible budget. But we owe $19 trillion. We're a debtor nation. Our infrastructure is falling to pieces. Our health care is no good. Common Core is horrible. It's costing us a fortune. We're getting rid of Common Core. We're getting rid of Common Core, by the way. We're going to have local education. Getting rid of Common Core. That'll be one of the early things. Okay. And we just don't have the $150 billion. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to tell you. We don't have it. They'll go crazy for about a day. And then on the second day, they'll call and we'll start. And we just saved $150 billion, believe me. Now, believe me. Now, you know these politicians that I'm dealing with? I mean, they're up in the States. These people, they don't have a clue. They never employed a person in their life. They don't have a clue. So they're up in the States. And some are nice guys, actually. Some I don't like, some I do like. It's one of the, I won't get into the ones that left because they're gone. You know, once they're gone, right? You know what you say? Once they're gone, who the hell cares, right? So we won't get into that, right? He's laughing. Now, they leave, they leave. Good luck. We think you're wonderful. How do you like them? Wonderful people. They're great. So we have 5 people now. 5 people. But they come to me and they say, why do you keep saying we're going to build a wall? You can't build a wall. We're going to build a wall. We're building a wall. They all said, you won't be able to build a wall. See that ceiling up there? That ceiling is low compared to the wall I'm talking about. Okay, that's a pretty high ceiling. So they come back and they say, you can't build a wall. And what do I say also? Who's going to pay for the wall? Who? Mexico's paying for the wall. Now, you might have heard me last night because I said this, 10 feet, right? 10 feet. The former president of Mexico held a news conference. First of all, if he's the former president, why is he holding a news conference? When you're the former, nobody cares. Calderon. But he held a news conference, And he said, we will never, ever pay for the wall. He's a good speaker, actually. Who cares? We will never, ever, ever pay for the wall. So the press called me up. These guys right there, world's most dishonest people, the press, the media. No, they are the world's most dishonest people. They are terrible, terrible human beings. They are. They are terrible, terrible, terrible human beings. But anyway, they called me. They called me. See, some are smiling and others are just repulsed by that fact. You are terrible, terrible. But they called me and they said, Calderon said, we're not paying for the wall. Could I please have a response from you, Mr. Trump? You know what I said? The wall just got 10 feet taller. 10 feet taller. Hey, do we have a good time or what? Do we have a good time? You know, nobody else gets these crowds. Bernie is second, but it's bad, and he's fading. Oh, he's fading fast. Bernie's second. I have to say, our crowds are much larger than Bernie, but he is second. He's ahead of the guys I'm competing with, that I can tell you. But I have a feeling Bernie's going to start to fade. He had to win yesterday. He had to win. And by the way, you know where I'm going right after this? To Nevada, because we have, that's a beautiful building, right? I have a beautiful hotel, a lot of employees there, but we have a big vote. Our next one's Nevada. Then we have you folks, the SEC, they call it. So the problem is, and when I was, I was sort of insulted when he said he's not going to pay for. Who is he to say he's not going to pay for the wall? Number one, he's not in office. Number two, even if he was, he's got to pay for the wall. And you know why? So these guys come up. First they say, don't forget, they're politicians. All talk, no action. They don't know what the hell they're doing, believe me. They will never take you to the promised land. They will never get you there. They don't have a clue. So first they say, we will not have a wall, right? But they come up to me and they say, what are you talking about, a wall? You can't build a wall. I said, what do you mean? We have 1,000 miles that we need. It's 2,000 miles. We have 1,000. The Great Wall of China, built 2,000 years ago, is 13,000 miles long. And that's a serious wall, I want to tell you this. And they didn't have Caterpillar tractors, and they didn't have They did it the old-fashioned way. They did it very tough. But the Great Wall of China is 13,000 miles long. We have 2,000 miles, of which we need only 1,000 because we have natural buffers. So we need 1,000. It is so easy. It's going to be so big, so strong, so beautiful. It's going to work, believe me. Walls work. Not the little ones that they have now. They have ramps. They build ramps. Not the little ones, but this wall. You can ask Israel about walls that work. Believe me, walls work. You can ask. Walls work. So the politicians that I'm running against, they come up and they said, do you really think you could build a wall? Like, it's hard to build. You build 95-story buildings. Building walls is nothing. Precast concrete. We would build such a nice wall. I want to make it nice because someday maybe they're going to name it after me, right? I have to make it nice. So maybe. I don't know. Maybe I want something else. I want more than a wall. No, we have to make it good. We are going to make it. We're going to make it beautiful. We're going to make it so it works. But they say to me, you can't build. Number one, you can very easily. In fact, it's very simple. I could get it done quickly. Much, much, much cheaper than what they thought. And, 15 years ago, they wanted to build a wall. They couldn't get their environmental impact statements done. There were snakes, toads, snails. Things were in the way. This is our country. And I always say, you look at China, right? You take a look, South China Sea right now. China's building a military base in the middle of the sea. And they're ripping and dumping and ripping and dumping. And I have a lot of friends from China. I mean, look, hey, I'm not angry at China that they're ripping us off. I'm angry at our country and our politicians that we can be ripped off. So Here's China. They decide on a Sunday to build it.